What if I told you there's an ETF quietly sitting in the shadows? An ETF stuffed with company that's building the foundation for the future economy. And really nobody is talking about it because everybody is fighting over AI. Everybody is fighting over crypto. Everybody is fighting over Nvidia, shouting about Michael Burry. Because while people are really doing all that, they're just overlooking a lot of stuff. The real money is flowing into the smart grid, y'all. That's right. The system that will power every home, every EV, every data center, and every AI model on Earth. And so I want us to get used to this because there is no EV without this. And today, I'm breaking down the ETF positioned to benefit from it all. Before we go any further, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want you to share this video out, right? Because that helps the channel grow. And trust me, y'all have been helping me help the channel grow. Y'all motivated me to keep going and keep getting better. So thank y'all so much. Nah, I don't waste no more of your time. Let's get to it. So before we get into the ticker symbol for the ETF I'm talking about, first of all, let's explain what an ETF is. An ETF is like a shopping cart in the store. And instead of buying one stock, you get a basket full of stocks all at one time. Now, if a sector is growing, then that ETF allows you to own the whole aisle, right? Not just one company. It spreads out the risk for us. Right, it smooths down the volatility. And it's one of the smartest ways for new investors and traders to build long-term wealth. What I like to do is, I like to say I get paid while I learn. So one of the things that I like to do is, I like to buy ETFs. So that's how I got into a few ETFs that I like. One of my favorite ETFs I got into was IHI. It helped me learn about the medical industry, right? And I was able to buy into the medical equipment industry while investing in IHI and then just going through the stocks inside the ETF. And that's really how I learned about medical equipment. And so what you can do with this ETF to do today is you can do the same thing. Think about it like this. Every EV charging station, every AI data center, every solar panel, every battery storage unit, they all depend on the same damn thing. A smarter, stronger, faster electrical grid. Our grid is outdated, y'all. It's leaking money. It's inefficient and it's unprepared for the future. That's why governments globally are pouring billions and billions of dollars into the grid modernization. This is the biggest behind-the-scenes investment wave of the next decade, and grids sit right at the center of it all. So the ETF we're going to look at today is GRID. That's right. It's the first trust NASDAQ Clean Energy Smart Grid Infrastructure ETF. It has 114 companies, right, inside of this thing. Industrial, it's heavy because physically, they really build the grid. Utilities, well, because they control the power, and technology, well, because they need the data. It also pays a 0.94% dividend, and a direct exposure to energy is what all the transition is. Now, I'm going to break this all the way down so we can understand this. So it's energy, it's tech, it's utilities, right? And it's industrials. These are the things that make up the grid. So the first one on the list on the thing is Johnson Controls. So Johnson Controls is not a sexy company at all, but it's a critical one. They build the smart building systems, the HVAC, the energy, the efficiency systems, the automation. They build that out. Well, Johnson Controls has an 8.27% position inside of that. So that's the biggest holding inside of the ETF. As buildings get smarter, greener, and more energy efficient, guess what? Johnson Controls becomes the brain behind the infrastructure. Second on the list as the second biggest holding is Schneider Electric. It makes up 8.09%. Now, Schneider is 100% a monster, a global leader in electrical equipment, energy management, and automation. Now, anything that moves electricity, they touch it. Anything that transforms electricity, they build it. Anything that needs to be monitored, they power it. Number 3 on the list is National Grid with an 8.08%. This company is literally delivering the power. They run the electrical and the gas inside the networks. In a world where power demand is surging, grid reliability becomes gold, right? So owning National Grid is like owning the toll road on an electrical highway, right? Without them, it don't happen. So that's another position. And the next position they have is ABB, right? Now that's the third biggest position. That one is all about robotics, electrification combined, automation, small grids, charging robots, industrial power, industrial systems, all in one. They're at the center of the EV charging infrastructure and data center electrification. That's huge. This one appeals to both tech lovers and industrial investors. Why? I personally think that's the best mix you can have. And number 5 on the list is Eaton. Now, Eaton makes power management equipment, so transformers, breakers, grid hardware. They the people that produce all that. So when billions get spent on upgrading the world's electrical system, guess what they call it? Eaton. They getting all the invoices. So you think about those are the power 5 companies inside of this ETF. That's gonna power this thing. Now I know you might ask Trap, why am I investing in this?
Whoop de doo.
Like, I hear you, bro, but like none of this makes sense. Well, think about it from this perspective. The world is going electric at a high level. EVs, AI, crypto automation, it all needs power. Governments are spending billions and billions and billions. You hear even companies like Mag 7 saying, we spending hundreds, we spending billions and billions. Infrastructure bills, cleaning energy mandates, grid modernization programs. Everything, all grid is going to be here because the industrials build, the utilities deliver, and the tech is how they get optimization. Listen, it's not hype. It's not noise. It's necessary. This really isn't about trends. It's about survival. And the smart grid is not optional. And so we look at this company, think about this. It's up 25% year to date. It's up 19% in 1 year. And in 5 years, it's up 105%. That's tech company type performance right there. These companies, they're not high flyers. But they will always be needed. And so here's why this really matters. And here's why I decided to bring this to y'all at the level that I'm at. Because I know y'all want to hear about it. When I think about it, here's why it really matters. You don't need to find the next Tesla. You don't need to look for the next Nvidia. But you can own the companies powering the next 20 years of innovation. And that's what GRID gives you. It gives you stability, it gives you growth, and it gives you exposure to the future. And that's what smart trapping is all about. Smart energy, smart grid, smart investing. And so not to mention you getting the dividend for owning this company. So now if I'm looking at it and if I'm you, I'm looking at it saying, okay, I like this company. I like the performance. Well, think about this. This ETF is outperforming the broader market. It's outperforming the SPY, is outperforming the NASDAQ. So that means I need to go look at the companies in here. And while I'm looking at the companies in here, if this whole second, you got to think about it. If the ETF itself is outperforming the market, that means the stocks inside it got to be outperforming the market at a high rate. So what I'm looking to do is go find the companies inside of here. Hint, hint, I gave you 5 of them, right? Go look and see, okay, here's their top 5 holdings. Let me see what's in the top 5 holdings that's outperforming the market. And then once you pull that out, you say, okay, out of the top 5 holdings, these are the ones that are outperforming the market. Now let me check the fundamentals on it to see if it's good, right? And if the fundamentals match and they tell you, yep, this is why they outperforming the market. Now you know you found a winner. And that's how you get paid while you learn. That's how you get paid while you learn. You get ETFs like this that's outperforming the market. You see what they got inside of it, and then you go invest in what's inside of it. Can we deny the fact that energy in the grid is what we need? We cannot deny that. And so we know that's where the market is going. We know that's where the country is going. We know that's where the world is going. Why not get into it now? Of course, they're going to have pullbacks. Of course, they're going to have corrections. Perfect time for us to get what's moving the economy forward at a discount price. And I hope that just made sense to everybody, man, because when it comes to this game, when it comes to being great at this game, like its consistency is not just looking at the trends, but it's mostly about understanding where is the market going? Where is the world going? And if I can understand where the world is pivoting to, think about it. We know the world on AI. We know the world on chips. Cool. We need to be finding places to invest. We know those chips and AI are going to need what? Energy. We need to be finding places but energy that we can invest. And that's the name of this game. Man, I hope this video helps somebody out, man. It's your boy, the Wall Street Chapman, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Comment in the chat below. Let me know if this video helped you out. Also, that's not me telling you to go to Telegram. That's not me telling you to go to WhatsApp. I'm not even going to actually invest in no Bitcoin or nothing like that. So be mindful. Be careful. It's your boy, the Wall Street Traveler. Salute.